Alright, so today we've got this to have a look at. It's one of these little light units, it's like remote control thing, like you have the plug-in ones you can plug sockets into. This is basically a standalone unit that can go in the ceiling or somewhere like that and then control using your lights, etc. I got it, it's very cheap, it's only like £3 something from Banggood, and so I'm not expecting greatness with it. But I got it to see if it's going to be suitable, as a friend wants to put a single downlighter above his dining table, as I mentioned in a previous video, and would like a sort of separate remote to control it rather than it coming on at the same time as the main light. And due to the complexity of trying to run cables, having to take all the boards up upstairs, it's not really practical to run cables to have a second light switch or a two-way light switch. So I thought this would be an ideal solution, so you can turn it on and off remotely. This box it comes in, a bit bashed up. Some pretty interesting Chinglish on the back, as you get with such things. Particular bits I liked. The product is equipped with security features. More security is the life of your furniture. Well, say no more. And the sleep delay function more humane. Yep, not really sure about any of that. Now in the box, I've already had it open. You get a remote. Remote actually looks okay. Yeah, not quite sure. It's F new. Yep. Unheard of. It takes one of these 12-volt batteries, and the battery clip is really awkward to get out. It actually came with a battery. It did say that it didn't, but it actually did come with one. HF cell, alkaline, 12 volts. I doubt that battery is very good, so I don't know how long it'll last. But anyway, it's one of those little diddy 12-volt ones. I don't know why they've chosen 12 volts for the remote. I suppose because it's not infrared or anything. It is probably something like 433 megahertz, I expect. So yeah, that's a remote. You basically got AB on off. I'm not quite sure what sleep does, but we shall find out. The unit itself is this little unit here. Basically you've got your live and your neutral, red and black there, second neutral there. One of these obviously is on your incoming supply, and one of these will be connected to the light, and then you've got two outputs here on the blue and white cables, and this is your aerial. Nice bit of detail on the aerial. They have actually put some heat shrink over the end to stop any chance of it, I don't know, presumably touching with one of these wires or something like that. Unfortunately, in the process of trying to get it apart, I managed to break it already. The back plastic thing is really flimsy. I've put a bit of super glue on there. You can see where it broke. I put some super glue on there to try and hold it back together again. I'm not quite sure how well that'll work, but never mind. And so this is the board inside. You can take it out. You can see pretty basic. It's obviously using a capacitive dropper circuit for the step down for the low voltage to drive the, presumably there's a small microcontroller and obviously the RF, and you've got these two relays. I'm quite sure whether, yeah, I suppose there's two because you've obviously got two outputs, but it's strange that both the outputs here are connected only to this first relay, so I'm not quite sure what the second relay is doing. Yeah, strange that. I suppose it might be. Yeah, it's a bit difficult because they're very close together. But you can see here, sort of, you've got the relay kind of ends there, and this connection here you think would be the output from the second relay, but that's not going anywhere. Whereas that one is. So yeah, I don't know if that means we can update it to three outputs, but of course the remote doesn't have the option for three. So yeah, the capacitor there, that's a CBB22. I'm guessing that would be 2.2 microfarads or maybe 220. Let's get the meter and just check that, see what that's coming up as. My main concern with this unit is just the safety of it. Is it going to be safe to be sort of stuffed up in the ceiling and left there? Is it going to get too hot or anything like that? Let's have a look. It's only reading as 1 microfarad, so I guess it is a 2.2, but obviously it's in circuit. You've then got a resistor tucked down there. That's obviously the bleeder resistor to take that out. You've got your 4 diodes there for your bridge rectification. There's a couple Zener diodes there. I'm guessing they're using that to clamp the voltage slightly. And a couple of resistors. Got some transistors. Our input comes in, basically goes through this here, which I'm guessing is used as a little choke. It's like a little inductor, but it's got some like heat shrink over it, and then sort of through the capacitor, through the diodes, etc. There's a little chip underneath here, but it's not very good quality, and they've just sort of soldered this in at some, you know, obscure angle and just pushed it down on the chip. And I've tried bending it up a bit and having a look, but I can't see any writing on that chip. So I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing it's just a little microcontroller to handle the RF communication. Little tuning adjustment there. Obviously they use that to tune the frequency. You can see I don't know what frequency it's running at all. I'd have to look on the listing and see if it says, but I expect it's something like 433 megahertz. Interesting on the little RF board, the 2 inner pins are bridged together, so I'm assuming that they are supposed to be bridged together. Now, as far as separation goes, there's not really any great deal of separation here particularly, and it's very difficult to tell exactly where the live side ends, sort of the high voltage side and the low voltage side. So I'm not, you know, too sure about that. But I'll run it for a while and see if it gets hot or anything that gives any indications there might be a problem. But I think it's okay, and of course it's not a low voltage output. You're switching 240 volts. It's designed to drive loads. It says up to 600 watts, basically 300 watts per channel, and you've got the 2 channels there. And the relays, like I said before, are 12 volt relays themselves. So I thought what I'd do is I'll hook it up and we'll give it a go and see if it actually does anything. Okay, so what I've done is I've just rather crudely connected a mains cable here, live to live, neutral to neutral, a couple chock blocks. I've got here a LED driver which is running my little project. I'm working on with some RGB tape and Arduino there, so I'll just use that to demonstrate the device. So that's all connected up. I should remember that obviously the back of this unit's not on. I don't want to, if I put the back on I probably can't, probably won't be able to get it off again without breaking it, so I won't do that quite yet. Another thing to point out here is this track here. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit on that. So I've zoomed in a bit there. As you can see here, this is the mains coming in. It sort of branches off here, here and here. Now they've put some extra solder on here to obviously increase the current handling capability of the track there, but it's actually been broken. The track's completely broken there, and they've just bridged it across with this little bit of wire. It's not very thick wire at all. So I'm guessing, yeah, that's obviously a bodge they've done in the factory, I'm assuming, after they've made it. Really, for the price of these boards, they might as well just spun another one, really. But there we go. So what I think I'll do is I'll flow some more solder over that and try and join that, give it a bit more strength to it, as I don't really like that sort of thin piece of wire there. It's not ideal at all, especially not if you're driving 600 watts on it, which it won't be. It'll be, what, 25 watts. Oh, is it? Probably a GU10, I think the light fitting has got lamp. So it's not a major problem, but I will just touch that up. Okay, so plug this in and hope that nothing goes bang and we don't take out all the power. Okay, so the power's on, and as you can see, this LED strip has come on. I'm a bit surprised. I thought it would probably sort of come on by default as to an off position. So that's a little bit annoying. So that's off, on, yep. So that's channel A, and channel B is not doing anything. Relays are quite loud. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not. Yes, so So I'm just using it right here to on or off, and we've got that's on channel A that we're currently using. The delay in those lighting up is nothing to do with that, it's just the code I've got in the Arduino. It's just been set to, I've programmed it so it sort of fades in between blue, red and green, so there's a bit of a delay in it starting up. We'll try this sleep button. Well, that doesn't seem to do much, does it? Press it, it's off. Okay, so I'm not quite sure, let's turn it back on again. So we press sleep, something clicks over and it stays on. Is it staying on for a period of time? Yeah. Alright, well I'm not quite sure the point of that. My only guess would be that when you're say you've got it in a setting where when you go to bed you want a bit of light to see for say getting in bed or walking up the stairs, something like that. I would guess that that's what they're doing, is they're just giving you that few seconds, but it's not very long really. So turn it on. So we're going to bed now. Press sleep. I suppose it might be about 10 seconds, I guess. I guess that's okay. Yeah, so here we are, yeah, little thing they've added to it. So all in all, so far it doesn't seem too bad. I mean, it's working. The soldering's not perfect, but it's reasonably okay. I'll just touch up a bit of wire anyway, like I said, that's got the issue with. I'll just unplug it before I end up shoving my finger on something and getting a shock off it. So yeah, not too bad. Obviously remember with these sort of devices, A, they are cheap of course, and B, make sure you know what you're doing regarding to the wiring. You know, so unless you're a qualified electrician, etc., I wouldn't recommend that you do these sort of things at home, because you're obviously working, dealing with mains voltage, which could kill you. So there we are, so that's an overview of this say little unit designed to turn on and on. Oh, the other thing on the front, it says tungsten. I think they mean tungsten, not tungsten, so they've got that wrong as well. But such is the way with these cheap Chinese products. I mean, China makes some great products, but unfortunately these ones, I mean, the product so far seems reasonably okay. It doesn't seem too bad. The only thing I'll say is it hasn't got any kind of fuse in it. So yeah, I mean, I might put an inline fuse or something when it's connected up to a main supply, because it's going to be potentially live all the time. Yeah, so there's no fuse or anything like that, but I expect that probably, one of these resistors would probably blow anyway if there was any kind of short circuit in it or something like that. But obviously I don't know 100%, so yeah, probably get some kind of inline fuse holder or something just for when that's connected up to give it a bit of extra safety. So I hope you enjoyed that little look at this device here. If you found the video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already done so far. Thanks for watching.